Hello everyone, I hope you're ready. I'm ready. We're almost there. So we're gonna start in a minute or so. Yep, almost there. Hello. Now you can see me. I can see the chat. Welcome. Good evening. We're waiting a couple of minutes for people to drop in. Want to welcome everyone to the late night stream or morning stream, wherever you are. The P1P is running, yeah, we've got a few printers running today. Actually, the P1P, the Carbon is also running. Printing wall panels. We're currently printing wall panels. We're getting along, like we're making some progress here with the with the wall panels. You can see in the background, we are making some progress. I think now we have like 25 panels already done. And I think in the end, we're gonna have around about 120-ish panels just on the back. And actually, we need to decide at some point, I need your help. We'll need to find the best attachments for the Scudis walls. So it's going to be a complete wall of Scudis panels, so IKEA Scudis compatible panels that we're printing. On the side we have the filament wall, which is basically made from all kinds of filament rest that I had. Like I had so many spools that were kind of a couple of years old, so I decided just to put all of the color into these side panels, which makes sense because it's the filament storage. And then I also started printing these rack mounts where we have. I designed a version that is specifically fitting one panel, so we can, like, each panel can hold one of these racks, and then each rack can hold 2-3 filament spools depending on the size. And then you can also put them in the middle, like you can have a spool going over 2. So in the end I can store my filament by filament type, so like PLA, multicolor PLA, PTG, ABS. Like I still need to sort it a little bit. Like I need to finish printing the rack mounts. Yeah, but I need your help, guys. I need your help. In the end, I want to make the background more interesting, right? I want to like have more kind of tool holders, because I want to stop using these kind of, you know this maybe, but I have these kind of, like the tools that we're using is, for today, for example, I went into the workshop, put everything that I may need into this box here. In the end, I want all of the electronics tools, cable strippers, clippers, everything. I want to have it here like in certain sections of the back wall. And yeah, of course, we want to have some kind of, maybe we want to have some RGB panels, RGB pixel panels, whatever. So I just want to get like better organized in a way that I have my tools organized on the wall, and that we have some stream. Maybe some stuff that you can control. I'm actually thinking about at some point that you, the stream, could control some of the back elements, right? So for example, a pixel panel that you can send emotes to, or you can change the color. I don't know, some kind of funny stuff. And maybe we can also have a screen attached here, so we could mount a computer monitor to the back and like have something shown there, or like have some highlights going on, like chat statistics, whatever, right? So we have plenty of space. You see, I mean, we have really the window actually behind me here. The window, I'm gonna cover up the window. I'm not using the window since a couple of years now. It's actually covered also from the top, so it's really like it's unused in a way. So we're gonna cover the inner frame of the window, so we can like have a plain wall behind, and then we can cover this completely going through, right? We can really do it end to end, and the window will disappear. There will be no window anymore on this side of the studio. We have a couple of other windows here on the side, so we can still ventilate. So that's it. Put some hot babes. Okay, yeah, you want me to get banned, right? Oh my goodness. No, we should certainly not gonna do that. Okay. Music lower. We're gonna turn down the music even more, I guess. don't need it anymore. Okay, what are we going to do today? Tonight we are doing two things. Essentially, we are going to finish the frame build. I have changed a few things. I'm gonna tell you what I changed since the last time we've been here building this printer. Last time when we ended the stream, or basically what we've done so far, we had the frame somewhat finished, I would say. But I was using linear bearings that I bought from China, and I basically just bought a bunch of different linear bearings, and then also these rods. And of course they weren't a perfect match. What I realized a little bit later is that my tool head, don't need that the tool head, for example, was really wobbling quite a lot on these rails. So it was really, yeah, you could really tilt it, right, if you're like in this direction. Now I made a hard decision and said I'm not gonna order new random linear bearings and other linear rods and trying to match and trying to figure out which ones are the best, and then in the end I will have like 25 rods and I don't know 100 bearings, and I need to line them up. So I didn't want to do that, and so I ended up finally ordering this V100 specific kit of linear rods and bearings that are supposed to match. So the Fuji high quality linear bearings and the matching rods in one kit. Quite expensive, but I said I'm not gonna waste more time, although I'm spending more money, but in the end now this should be basically the perfect linear motion system, and it is definitely running very smoothly in each direction. There's no wobbling, there's no rattling. It simply works, and it's really very good. So that happened since last week. What also happened since last week is I finished the bed base, basically the bed frame where like the hot bed is sitting on and where it's mounted. I did also realize when I finished this, it's supposed to be when you put your fingers here under the counterparts for the screws, for the lead screws, it should be not tilting in any direction, right? And that wasn't the case. It was actually top heavy, so it was always tilting towards the front. That's probably because I use different materials. This is not PLA, it's ABS. It might be heavier, so it's not balanced anymore. And so I decided I need to figure out how to balance it, and that's why I just simply bought a bunch of car tire weights, which are self-adhesive, so they can just cut them in, I think it's 5 grams pieces. And I just balanced it out, and now it's pretty much balanced if you have your fingers underneath here, not tilting in any direction. So that should give it a good balance. So it shouldn't be a front weight or heavy weight, back heavy, and should give us better print results than when it would have been front heavy. And it's definitely stated in the video manual that this shouldn't be like in any direction, shouldn't be too heavy. You didn't do it, you were framed. What do you mean? I didn't do it and you were framed. Don't know what you mean. I was framed. We built the frame. I was right. Okay. Then I made a few other. Some people made some suggestions. Yeah, yes, you're building the frame. Okay, maybe I didn't understand that. And Spline was giving a lot of suggestions also in our Discord server, and that's a good chance to mention our Discord server, because if you're not on the Discord server yet, take the chance, join our Discord server. Our bot is posting the link from time to time. We have a community on Discord, our private server, where we're discussing all kinds of stuff regarding 3D printing. We have some awesome moderators, for example, Tutum Karman, he's here in the chat. the man with the hammer. And yeah, we'll talk about all the questions that you might have. We have also other hobbies, right? We're talking about other hobbies as well. We started talking about retro computing, for example, which I'm personally kind of also excited about, because I have some older computers, and yeah, I figured like there's other people interested in this kind of stuff. So why not join the Discord? So in this discussion last time, Spine mentioned a couple of parts that should be changed or that can be upgraded. I used basically all the default parts from the V100 bill of material, and figured that on the Discord, on the like, why is it zooming so much? On the V100 Discord server, there's like so many suggestions for alternative parts, what you should use, what you shouldn't use, what you should replace. I think got a couple of very good suggestions, and started replacing some parts that I had already printed, and did change some parts that were still to be printed. For example, I've looked into frame braces, because the whole, I mean, still we have now a balanced bed frame, but still it is, when it's running up and down, there is nothing holding the frame or like supporting the frame on the top, on the front. And that's why there is a few alternative top or front supports to keep the frame at a certain direction or a certain distance, a specific distance. And these braces are coming in different versions. So this is one version that's quite thin. I was printing this first, but then I found something that I actually like more, which is these kind of front frame braces, which are like a little bit more integrated, and which are just simply supporting the frame and keeping it at a certain distance at the front. And we're gonna use those here. Yeah, what other changes? I think I've also decided to like connect my power supply to a proper power connector, so a computer cable connector, instead of connecting the wires directly to the power supply. So you would normally, in the instructions, there was just simply the cables would be just crimped in here, and then you would only have the plug to disconnect or power off the printer. Now you have a proper switch and a plug, so like every other 3D printer should have. That was one change. And I think another little change here on the gantry. I printed different belt tensioners, which have a little more clearance for the for the belt themselves, so they don't scratch on those screws. Seems that the original ones, when the screws are like touching those bearings, they are scratching against the bearings for some reason. I think this is just a design flaw of the original version. That was changed. Besides that, I guess, yeah, I printed also some belt tensioners. Basically just some simple plastic parts that are holding the belt in position once we are inserting the belts. And that's basically it. So I'm going to get rid of these pieces here because we don't need them. The rest, I guess, it is pretty clear. Which build is this? I've not used the frame braces so far, been no issues so far, but others have had issues I've seen on the 100 Discord there. That's why I said, like, why not print the braces? I actually decided also to do some different colors on this printer. I wanted to have some kind of contrast color, so choosing the bronze ABS. And yeah, might make the printer just look a little bit nicer, a little bit more fancier. This is the V100 build version 1.1. Currently, Matt, the printing nerd, you might know the guy, he has another YouTube channel himself. He created this mostly 3D printable printer frame, which is a Core XY printer. It has, I mean, all kinds of parts are 3D printed. There is, of course, some mechanics, some bearings and some motors, and like with every other 3D printer, but the basic, like the idea of this computer, the idea of this 3D printer is that like as many parts as possible are 3D printed, so they can be changed and modified and customized as much as you want. And yeah, this is. There's a switch, and I like the switch a lot. Actually, this is just a simple detail, but it's definitely more secure to have a proper plug. And it's also, the nice part here is also this is also covered on the back side. It's not open. So you see there is no open wires here. It's all closed. The cable is going in here on the side, and you don't touch the cables anywhere, right? So it's really safe, much safer. And if we are doing, if we're doing anything with main power, which we're likely not supposed to do in the end, because we're not electricians officially, it's at least we can do something for maximum safety. Links. I can post my collection, if you will. I have a collection on printables where I have my. At least most of the parts, I don't know, not everything that I am using is on printables. I think Spline posted some parts, or I also found some of the parts on the Discord server, on the V100 Discord server, which some of them are, for some reason, people didn't post them on any public site. They just posted them there as STL files. So might be that not everything is here. But in any case, you might also want to look into the V100 Discord server. There is also all kinds of suggested parts that should be used or can be used. So, second thing that we actually want to do today, because I did forget to mention that, let me quickly tell you about it if you're not aware, if you're here for the first time since the last couple of weeks, if you've not been here the last couple of weeks. We're doing a giveaway. Today is the final day, and the giveaway, we're giving a 3D printer, which I had here in the studio, but didn't use for the reason that I simply hadn't the time to use it, and didn't have the time to test it. Let me bring it up on the screen. So we can also we can type. Can go on to it on Twitch giveaway. So we have a giveaway, the Lotmax ST10 Charge V2. It's actually a quite good printer. I had the version 1. I made a video about it, and it has basically two color printing, has can basically use two different colors. Can swap the colors. And it has also a laser module. So it's like you can convert it into a laser engraver, and then you can swap out the head and then use it as a laser engraver. And I think that was quite funny to use, but I didn't get to use it. So it's like, and I want to give it away. And this is like my first giveaway of the year, and we are going to have more going on. How it works, I think that's the important thing. If you're here for the first time since a couple of weeks, if you go to, if you want to participate in this giveaway, you have to go to Twitch and watch the stream from Twitch. Why? Because we are using a tool to do the giveaway that only runs on Twitch. And that's how it is. Now, what will happen when you watch the stream on Twitch is you're gonna collect nozzles, and that's gonna be true for every single stream that we do in the future. You're gonna collect nozzles, which are kind of a loyalty currency that you get basically every 5 minutes. You earn these nozzles, and every 10 minutes you will get 5 nozzles, and you can basically keep them as long as you want. You can always check how many you have. So if you go to Twitch and enter nozzles, you will see how many you have. So I have 3,000 nozzles. Now I have some nozzles. And you will see like your rank in the leaderboard, but that has nothing to do with the giveaway. Like basically just see how many you have. And when we do the giveaway, you can decide whether you want to put your loyalty points into the pot and how many. So you don't have to put everything in. You can just decide, I'm gonna put 10, I don't know, right? So like if Spine has 115, he can decide to put 50 into the pot for this giveaway. And then there's nozzles in the pot, and then we're gonna like basically have, that's basically just giving you a kind of a probability to win in the end. And I'm gonna switch over to screen sharing, and this is how the giveaway looks like at the moment. We have 6 people entries with 6 individual people currently in this giveaway who entered using 417 nozzles. And you can just spend your nozzles by saying giving another command, which is ticket, right? And if you enter ticket, you can buy a ticket. So unfortunately, I bought myself a ticket, which was unintended. I didn't want, but basically you can say ticket max. I'm not gonna send this command now. If you say ticket max, and it's all described, basically, it's a description and the explanation is all here, right? It's all here on this page. You say ticket or ticket 10, for example, or ticket 50, or ticket max. And if you say ticket max, you basically put all of your nozzles into the pot, right? And so you can decide how much you want and how much you want to enter, and if you want to keep it for the next giveaway. But the thing is, the longer you watch the stream live, the more tickets you can actually get. And that's how it works. It's very simple in the end. And so, unfortunately, this doesn't work on YouTube for some reason. I tried to make it work on YouTube. Didn't work on YouTube. And it's... So, some people reported last time that there was bad streaming quality on Twitch. Some people said it's fine for me. So if you figure the stream is not in a good quality for you on Twitch, just keep it running and maybe watch on YouTube. Just make sure that you're like basically just have the stream running, and then you can earn nozzles. That's the only condition to like how you can get them. So I think that's not more to explain. At the end of the stream, we're gonna just stop the giveaway. I'll give you a last shot and say, everyone now put their tickets in, and then we're gonna draw the winner, and that's it. And then we're gonna announce very soon the next giveaway. So let's see. GeForces is in Twitch. Had to update the app. Yeah, I see. I'm not sure if I can refund myself the ticket. Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Should do it because I don't want to participate in my own giveaway. can we do a refund? Refund. Ticket. Why is it not here? Yes. Ah, I see. Okay, don't have to do it. Good. So far, so good. So at the end of the stream, you should enter ticket max. Now, let's come to the build, because we want to finish this. Let's do it finally. I'm going to switch to overhead. So, I want to do two things here. I want to like replace these braces here at the front. When we should do two things. We have the back mounts or the back supports. These are the back supports. We're gonna mount them now. And then we're gonna mount the front supports. And then you'll see how everything comes together. So. The sad story is I had everything already mounted together last time, but it is how it is. We just have to do it again. Okay, stream quality is good. That's great to hear because, yeah, again, some people were last time they were saying Twitch had a bad stream quality, but that might be an individual topic, maybe the internet connection or the client or whatever. I need to figure which. I need a few more of the same screws. Here we go. So, if you have 0 nozzles, then you just have to wait and watch the stream on Twitch. And then every 10 minutes you get 5 more. So if we do streaming for, I don't know, the next 1.5 hours or something, I'm gonna earn a few more, so it's no problem. And just because someone has more nozzles does not guarantee that someone will win anything. It's just random. It's more like a probability game. So 5 hours. We should have done a giveaway the other night when it was just us. Yeah, it is probably. It's probably this giveaway is still quite unique in a way that we don't have so many people yet who know about it, and need to get used to that we do live streams actually, because I haven't been doing so many live streams in the past, but it will be definitely happening more often now. For me, that's much easier, right? And so the chances today are much higher than ever in the future, right? It's never going to be that good in the future anymore. It's just today it's still pretty good. It can only become worse. So then we have these pieces here, which are holding frame rods or vertical rods in place. I'm not sure if I'm probably gonna take them out. We are going to replace this with the front braces, and then we actually do not need these plastic pieces anymore. We can throw them away. And now we are mounting these replacement braces, holders. We'll probably need to open up the screw holes here a little bit. I'm not sure. Would you give us the idea of the cost? Oh wow, the stream was at like the beginning. Haha, it wasn't live for me when I clicked in. Sorry for being weird. Okay, so you basically had to click the live button, right? I see. Happens to the best. Yeah, Twitch is a different platform. I totally understand that a lot of people are not watching anything on Twitch, because originally I guess Twitch was really only about gaming. But honestly, I figured this year or last year even, Twitch is actually becoming more and more a general streaming platform for everything, right? People are streaming everything on Twitch. They stream about making and building stuff and crafting and, I don't know, painting. So many different things actually. That is really it's really super interesting to see. And Twitch has really changed a lot in a way there. That's for sure. And there's plenty of 3D printing channels using Twitch now to stream. That's actually not so new, honestly, but I think for me personally, it was kind of a discovery and say, hey, this should be working, right? We can do a couple of live streams. We can build a community that is more interested in these kind of relaxed build stuff, and it's not so much about retention and pushing, making a video that's 6 minutes and info, and I don't know, cutting out every single pause. It's a different way how to watch the content, of course, but it's also more interactive. You can like basically talk with me on a chat, which is definitely a different discovery, a different experience. So Nico was asking about the cost for this print. If you look in the bill of materials, there's something like, I think originally 350-ish euros for the cheapest version. I guess at least that's what it was in the beginning. Turns out that I decided to go a different path and have more expensive parts. For me, I think it's more like a 450, 500 euro equal dollars, right? It's basically the same. And so it's not super cheap. I would say it's still a little bit cheaper than a Voron, but it's probably also not a Voron, right? It doesn't have a metal frame. It's more custom pieces, even. It's more like you are pretty much challenged with the fact that this printer is changing while it's being created. It's still being changed all the time, so Matt is still making changes to design. So the question is, how can we insert this thing without, well, can we insert it now? Can we slide it over? Yeah, we can. So sliding over this piece here, and we're gonna move it down a bit until, yeah, it's already enough. So just enough that we can close the frame from the top. Maybe we need to push it down a bit more even because of the print nozzle. I also need to do one little change. Spline suggested I didn't print those distance pieces yet. Yeah. The golden parts are printed in what material? Everything is printed in ABS. The whole printer is printed in ABS. You can print this printer in PETG. You can also use PLA. The reason why I was going for ABS is I want to print ABS with this printer, and I want to put it into an enclosure, so it's going to be a little bit warmer and material is going to warp most likely. So that's my personal reason why I'm going with the ABS, but you can also print it in a PLA and it should work. So everything is ABS. Nico says, some people are chatting about comeback of streaming. I guess you're totally right. Like, streaming has a comeback, and streaming is really becoming more popular, especially with non-gaming related content. So I think that's actually good, because all of this retention game and like making the videos as quick as possible and editing and stuff, it's also very stressful, and streaming to me has always been kind of a relaxing situation and really focusing on the community building, like building a community of people who are like-minded and want to know about stuff in real time. That's what I'm interested in. Okay. I'm totally not used to Dan streaming around now. Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to keep kind of a schedule now. I've kind of blocked my calendar for a Wednesday evening, Germany time at least. That's the most convenient time for myself to do streaming. And then we'll do it for 2 to 3 hours most of the time, right? But I'm trying to do my best to announce the streams a little bit more upfront, sticking to kind of a schedule, all right? So we can, like, you can check it out on the Discord server. We have the announcement channel. I'm posting my streaming schedule, trying to do it a week ahead or a couple of days ahead. I also have on Twitch, I have a streaming schedule at least, which is now fixed Wednesday evening, 9 p.m. So that should be working for myself. That's currently working. Do you think the 100 benefits from no metal parts like that? Do you think the 3D printed parts help with resonance? That's a very good question. I think Mats, the printing nerd, he claims that this printer is printing super fast, also because of all of the thought process that went into designing this in a way that it is supposed to minimize resonances and have a perfect center of gravity. I think he was putting a lot of effort into like calculating all of that stuff and finding the perfect center of gravity so the printers doesn't shake and is able to move so fast. That was probably one of the reasons to go for a 3D printed frame. It's really finding this kind of perfect balance. Which doesn't mean that a metal frame printer cannot print as fast. I think it's just a different... Does it fit together now? I think we have to push it down. Okay. Here we go. The different materials have different characteristics, especially for regarding the shrinking. That's the only thing that could lead to some issues, at least, that ABS is shrinking more than other materials. I think you should be okay. I only think you need them if you have issues with the rods slipping. At least I'm trying to fix the front frame pieces now. Braces. Trying to keep them in place. So that I can finally bring everything together. My challenge currently is that I think we have a little bit of a material shrinking topic here. That the front braces are a tiny bit too short. But it might also be okay. I'm not sure. Let's figure out. At least I can get it together. Okay, it's working. So, just mounting the front braces. That looks good. Going to have 4 mounting points on each side. So clean up the... Didn't use supports for printing the parts, and that's why the holes are... We have these screws with the bigger head. That's why might have some plastic in these cavities, but that's okay. It works. So, front braces are in place. Gonna finalize this now. Makes sense. What are you guys talking about? I guess I missed the point. Probably the prices in the UK. I think the prices worldwide, probably you will pay round about $400 to $500 for this printer. And it depends also really on some other details. For example, if you're going for the cheap CHT, I think is it CHT or nozzle, which is it's a clone. It's a clone nozzle, and I went for the more expensive version, which is the Fetus Rapido CHF nozzle, which is a longer, more powerful system, and that's of course, like, just that alone is I think 70-80 euros, so it's quite a lot of, compared to other parts of this printer, that's quite a lot. Now if you consider that I also had to buy the more expensive linear bearings and also the rods, I'm probably more closer to 500. Okay, this is still standing upright, no wobbling. So let's take a look at the whole construction now from the front. So these are the two front braces that I've mounted. Originally there was nothing here. There was just these two rods, but they're just pushed into the frame, so there's nothing holding them in a way that they're not, I mean the Irish braces here, they're holding these rods, but it's like some people reported that still the frame was kind of moving slightly up and down, especially when the homing procedure happens. And that's why some people said, okay, it's better to have these braces that specifically hold the frame in a specific distance, so no matter what happens with the rods and the homing, it's going to stay where it needs to stay. So far so good. Looks good so far. I would suggest that we now take care of positioning the motors here. I started already assembling the first motor for the core XY movement. And at some point I might have to double check because of the belt routing how it works. First thing that we need to do is we need to figure out how far we need to insert the motors and in which position we need to mount. Oh, didn't fix the back side yet completely. I guess we have to do that. Still some screws missing here, I just realized. Question is, I think these are the shorter ones. These are the shorter ones. Are just, yeah, these are probably the 12 millimeters. So, are you still good? Can you still, are you still following along? Any questions? How many people are watching at the moment? 12 people on Twitch, 7 people on YouTube. I think we just turned the ratio, which is surprising. Last time we still had more people watching on YouTube. Now we are kind of swapped everyone over to Twitch. And that's good because Twitch will realize that, and at some point I'm gonna get the affiliate status. That is basically means once I become Twitch affiliate, probably after a couple more streams, we can have custom emotes, which I definitely would want to have, like some custom 3D printing related emotes for the chat. We can have cheering. We can basically do all of the stuff that we wanted to do with the background wall. So we can have custom events happening where you can send custom messages and stuff. I think it's going to be super exciting. Great. Excuse me if I didn't mention everyone who became a member on or who followed me on Twitch, but I can definitely check out who was like the last people. Stubbs41, thanks for the follow. Eklart 26A, thanks for following. Phonom, thank you very much. Geoforces, and yesterday we had Prince and Rick's Builds following on Twitch. So thank you very much. Appreciate that because it's gonna help me building this channel alongside with the YouTube channel, because the YouTube channel will still continue to exist, and we're still gonna publish all of the streams on YouTube, so anyone who's interested can rewatch. And we're still doing videos on YouTube. Personally, I'm currently down to probably one video a month in the long format, because it's really a lot of work, and usually the videos that I'm doing at the moment are kind of like very time consuming, which like you need to test all kinds of things. You need to probably have some communication going on with the manufacturer, some questions, some bug fixes, and so on. And that takes time. And that's why it's simply better for me to make streams where we're gonna have fun. So I'm going to use the first pulley here. I don't know the position is right at the moment, but I just positioned it so it's flush here at the end. I'm gonna put it in. These are the motor mounts, and what we have to figure out is essentially where it needs to be pulling the belt, if it's like in which position we want it. And both motors, one of them is supposed to pull the upper belt and the other motor is supposed to pull the lower belt, and the question is which one is supposed to be used for which one. I guess, when I'm not wrong from the description from the video, is that this motor here, the back left, is supposed to be used for the lower belt, and this one here is for the upper belt. So we have to, like, we can still align it later, so we don't have to do it right now. So I'm gonna put it a little bit more higher position, if you will, higher away from the motor. Right, and then we're gonna figure out the best position later. Strange is I'm not seeing why I'm not seeing the updates of the chat at the moment. You're doing great. I love your streams. Sorry, I wasn't following the stream, the chat. It was kind of stuck for me. Why it wasn't moving? I'm just going to try to read the last few questions here. Super clever. Right. You are going to lose travel with your bearings in the Y mounted like that. You need to set them from the rear and have most out of the front. I see. I think you're meaning the position of these bearings here. Thank you to Tudum Carmen for following on Twitch. You mean the position here should be... That's a good question. Where should we position that? I think the front, probably to this direction. We should push them forward in a way that we're losing a little bit here. That's right, yeah. I'm wondering, is this actually a problem? Because if I'm looking at the print bed, the nozzle isn't actually on the bed anymore. We are already now, if we are in this position, we are already outside of the printable area. So does it really make sense? I mean, is it really important? Because now the print head is literally behind the print bed. So it can't be printing on the print bed in this position, even though there is 5 mm of gap, right? So okay, I'm gonna jump to the current jet position. I'm sorry if I'm missing something. Fun fact about stepmom motors: if you connect them in parallel. Interesting. You can post, I guess, blind. You can post. The thing is, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that if I'm looking where the nozzle is, I can see it from this position here. The nozzle is behind the print bed. That means even though we're losing 5 mm here, we cannot actually move further to the front than this because the print head is already pushing against the frame. Sorry. So in a way, this is basically the limit, and I'm not sure if it's really a problem. But you post your picture. I think we can see it. The other problem with changing that is probably it's gonna be a little bit imbalanced. But anyways, hope it's not a problem. I was just doing something. I wanted to align the motor pulleys so we have the right positions. The further. So, want to check now where we're coming in with the belt. This motor pulley should be running the lower belt, so I'm still pretty much too high. So this one is still too high. We need to lower it, or I mean, lowering is depends how you see this. We're gonna push it out or pull it out a bit more, so we have probably it's gonna sit more to the edge here. I'm wondering if this is still okay, but we probably should have some room to play. We can now figure out the alignment. And I think the fine adjustment needs to be done later. But so far, this is, I still need to pull it out a tiny bit more. It's just half a millimeter or something. I think that should be good. And so it's pretty far out now, but it's really the position is the lower belt, so it needs to drive. It needs to be very much aligned, very straight. That looks good so far. Probably need to disassemble the frame, I'm just realizing that. But no problem so far. I think we just do the alignment now. We should have fixed the motors in place before putting the frame on top, because there is some screws coming from the bottom. I mean, you can still reach a few of those, but I think one or two screws are covered with the frame, so we have to reach them from below. That's not possible, but on the other hand, we can just, first of all, we can do the alignment. We can also just do the belt length and fix the belt length, so we have the perfect belt length for both X and Y, and then we can fix that. The upper pulley motor, we are still, yeah, this is exactly the problem in the other direction. We need to push it down a bit more towards the motor. And try again. And then we're trying to measure out the belt length. Still too far. Get down a bit. And I think we can start with this. So both motors are in place, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to route the belt into the frame and then cut it into the right length. And we have one long belt here. How did you print? Let me start with a few questions. It will be as the printhead will interfere with the bed when leveling. You need all the travel. Okay. Yeah, okay. Then we probably need to disassemble this piece, or I'm gonna do it after the stream. I'm gonna fix it later. But that's a good suggestion. So we have to fix that and make it work. My goal for today is anyways, we still should look at the time a little bit. We want to do the giveaway in time, so we have a couple of, we have half an hour or something before we should do the giveaway. So any of the problems that might come up now and figuring out maybe I did something wrong in the wrong order, I'm gonna do it offline, fix it. So next time, once this is all like back in place, my goal is actually to have the software pre-installed, because that's kind of a boring story and I don't want to do it on the stream because installing software is not so interesting. I'm gonna pre-install the software on the Raspberry Pi and on the main board, so it's like basically good to go. And then the next week my goal is that we can figure out the motion system if it's working, right? So we can basically connect all the cables, get the printer up and running, test out the movement, test out extrusion, test out temperature and stuff like that. I still have to do the wiring, which is also kind of a thing I would probably prepare offline. So we have all the wires basically prepared. So we just have to, like, basically the only thing left is really to get them connected to the main board. Another thing that Brian was suggesting last time was a cover for, and that's interesting. I'm gonna bring it up here. That is a nice piece. That's a nice idea. I actually like it a lot. If you look at this, this is how it could look like. So we are covering, there's a cover that you can basically mount all of your electronics upside down. If you look at this now, it's mounted, the power supply is facing up, and also the Raspberry Pi and everything is going to be facing up, but it's going to be an open bottom. So you're going to see all of the electronics here. And the problem with that is, it's not a problem, but it's basically as soon as something falls down from the print bed, it's going to always fall into your electronics, potentially falling into some cooling fan, either of the power supply or maybe of the main board, because there's going to be a cooling fan as well for the Raspberry Pi and stuff. And that's why I think it's good to eventually switch to this. The thing is that this is not working. It's different from the power supply. I have to measure out if my power supply fits in the mounting position. I have to figure out, I have the same main board, but I'm not using the W or the Banana Pi. I'm not using the small one. I'm using a full-size Raspberry Pi. So I have to figure out the mounting position and mounting holes and mounting standoffs. So I have to modify this part and print it in 2 pieces because it's too big. And then, yeah, so I have to do this and figure out, probably modify this part first and I print it out, and then we're gonna have definitely a better way to hide all of the electronics under the printer. Still, like, we have a clean surface here, which I totally love, which means nothing can fall down, and we always have a good place. We can always clean it very easily. We'll just wipe it off if something's falling. So I think it's really nice. That's why I'm gonna prepare it for next time, and that's why we're probably gonna do all the mounting of the electronics in the next video. Anyways, what we can do now is really belt routing and figuring out the belt length. So Matt's suggestion was start with the lower belt and start like this. Yeah, you can see my head. Womp womp. What is womp womp? So the belt is being pushed here. You can see this. Belts are pushed into this gantry part, which is holding the hot end. And basically nothing is keeping it in place, so it's currently not fixed. Later we will have these little plastic braces, which will be, there's always a pair of them, and they are going to push the belts together, and I'm gonna hold them in place. The actual belt tensioning is happening here on the side and back, right? So it's something that we're gonna do. But this little holder could be actually quite helpful if we do it right now, if we use it for fixing this, at least temporarily fixing it, so it doesn't always come out of its position and we can then get the right length done. So easy thing to do. We need 2 little nuts and 2 screws, shorter ones. Probably want to glue this in place at some point. Sure about the length here. Not sure what the good distance is here for this piece. And maybe we need a little bit of a longer screw. This is tiny bit too short. Some room to play with the belt length here. When the next length is, these are, what is this, 6mm, 10mm? That's maybe too long, but anyways, doesn't matter. We can still use it. Yeah, that's a bit too much, but it's still should be working. Okay, so we can fit the belt in between and then temporarily fix it in place so it's not going to jump out of here. So how it works, I think we're just gonna pull it out a little bit, push it into this little brace here, and then we're gonna close it. It's just for the purpose, not, this is not coming out. Just for now. So, okay, and it's just holding it's just holding this belt here in position. And later on, we're gonna have 2 belts going through this. Like we're gonna have, the belt routing made me a bit angry. It's fiddly. Getting the belt same length tension was my main stumbling point. Okay, well, let's see how complicated it will be. My main problem is maybe we should probably cut this in half before we do anything, because it's still, I mean, it doesn't make sense to have this whole thing running through and then figuring out we only need half of the belt, which is definitely the case. So I'm like roughly cut it in half. We still should have plenty enough, hopefully. No, I mean seriously, if we cut it in half, it should be good, right? No, that should be roughly the same here. That's not rocket science, hopefully. So, good. This is going to be our second one. Now we'll start routing the belt, starting here. That's, I can agree, this is probably a little bit annoying. You have to run it through here. Not sure if this is correct, I hope so. Ah, we did cross already. This is not good. Don't want to cross this. It's not gonna work. I see. It's probably becoming a little bit annoying. And we probably want to wipe off the grease first here from these rods, because otherwise we're gonna grease this belt as completely unintended, and which is not what we want. We don't want to grease it. So we can always put more grease on later. But this is definitely a little bit annoying here. We might unintentionally put a lot of this stuff on our little belt here, and we don't want that. That's not the thing to do. Okay, so start again. First we go to the front. Then we go around the first motor like this. We can fiddle it around. Okay, so like we're coming around the first pulley, the first idler basically. Then we're going to the first motor here. Then we're going back. I think we're going through to the first belt tensioner, if I'm not wrong. So we're pushing it through here. We're coming to the back. Here is the belt tensioner, you can't see that, but we're going around the belt tensioner. And that looks fiddly, that's correct. That's probably a little bit annoying. Because now we need to get the belt going to this direction. We need to go, it needs to go here, needs to go back here to this idler, and then to connect back to the carriage. But one thing is to get it around this first pulley here, which is a little bit hidden. The point where you have to run it around and you can't see the belt. That's a bit fiddly. How can we do this? Maybe screwdriver will help. Okay, so the belt is coming out on this side. Then we have the second belt tensioner running around this corner here. Come on, get through. Why are you not doing this? Tweezers, yeah, good suggestion. If I could see it, I need more light. Then I can also use the tweezers. Where's my little flashlight here? Here we go. Probably put it in between here. So we have some light now, but we also need tweezers. Head torch, yeah. I should have brought that. That's right. Tweezers. We can figure out. Can we see something here? Hope so. Can't see it yet. Here we come. Oh. Come on. I think I have it. Yes. Okay. Okay, so seems that the belt is moving. So finally, last corner, we are going back to the print head. Through this, there is a little hole here where we can push with tweezers. Can push the belt so it comes out here. Okay. And we have it coming out on the opposite, so we can now push it here into the print heads. And we should be good. We should be good with the first belt. Okay. So now I think we can now just temporarily fix this in place using the second brace and try to do some, like, figure out if the belt tensioning works as we want. And then we cut it in the right length, right? Belt threading is a pain at the best of times. Belt threading. This will be my next 3D printer build. Okay, great. I hope this is gonna be, like, you're gonna be successful with this. It is, I wouldn't say it's super challenging, but it's with the community that we have now around this printer build. You have so many people who have done it already that it can only get better, right? So it's definitely something that with the community on Discord, it's possible. What I would suggest, though, if you intend to build this printer, when I started to buy all of the pieces, I didn't know yet, at least, or I didn't realize that Matt, the printing nerd, was already, like, super heavily involved in it's better with a hammer. Yeah. I know. I knew that this would be coming at some point. This was necessary. No, seriously. I think we can cut it off a little bit, at least. Cut off. I mean, seriously, we don't need so much more belt here. Can probably cut it off here. Why? Come on. So, cut the belt. I'm going to tension, or trying tensioning this first belt a little bit, just to see if the belt tensioning works. And can we do this, please? Okay, so it is. It's in this brace. Now, probably using this in the wrong direction. Should have to put the screws to the other side, my friends. We should do this now, because we're probably gonna use it later anyways. So, you can feel the pain already of using this, but I'm still optimistic. I'm honest. I'm still optimistic that this is going to be good. Okay. So, pre-tensioning this a little bit. Okay. I think this should be good so far. Good. So these belts are kind of pre-tensioned. Now we can double check whether everything is moving nicely. This is, do you see where the printhead is moving and how it's moving when only one belt is connected and you're, like, trying to push it? It's moving diagonal. And the motors is not turning. The tension is building. I have a 200, 200, 200 build volume. I believe I can print the D100 correct. Oh, that is a very good question. Let me measure out the pieces. Let me measure out one of the bigger pieces for you. The new one is bigger. If you know, Matt is working on version 2. Version 2 is definitely becoming bigger. So these pieces here, for example, 19.5. Yeah. 14. Okay, but the longer piece here is definitely not printable. It's 25. So the front brace, for example, is 25. The bottom frame, yeah, it's kind of 20-ish. Yeah, 20. Very sharp, 20. Right, so it could be very close. I think it's... I can't really tell you if it's going to work. I would say maybe. But if you're like, the thing is, if you're building this printer today, be aware that version 2 is completely different. It's going to have, everything is going to be different in terms of there's going to be new free printed parts. I think that you can reuse a lot of the mechanics. I hope so. I'm not aware of the current status, latest status of this project, of the version 2, but supposedly you can reuse the bearings and the rods. If not, I would be a little bit disappointed, honestly. But let's see. I mean, I hope that we can reuse the parts from this build. And let's see. Everyone also has a bucket of them that lost the print or broken half of the 20 each. I have only 2 for work. Everyone have blue. Yes. This is coming with every single 3D printer. Still the same, right? I'm also wondering, someone has produced a couple of millions of this kind of brittle cutters, and now they have to sell them. They have to get rid of them. Okay, so how's belt tensioning working? Belt tensioning is in which direction is it actually pulling? Okay, so it's tensioning and untensioning. Seems to be working. And I think we should do the second belt now. Now we know how it works. The second belt starts in this direction, supposedly. So we need to, first we probably want to fix it in place. Or we can also just, I mean, the easy way now would be to completely remove the belt and cut the second one in the first, in the right length. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to take out this belt and we're going to cut the second one in the same length. So we don't have to do it all over. Anyways, we have to, I guess if we have to fix some, like the question is, do we have to take it out? But if we want to fix, I think we do not have to take it out, honestly. Why would we have to? That's the good question. If I would have to fix the position of the bearings, I would have to remove the belt. So I will have to do it anyways. I'm gonna do it. Good. But that wasn't, I think it wasn't too complicated, honestly. Did I tell you that I recently had to replace the belts on the X1 Carbon? the story of the belt replacement started in one of the last live streams. I did a maintenance stream where I did some basic maintenance to this printer, like cleaning the printer, cleaning the carbon rods, greasing all the parts that need to be greased, and then figuring out why my I think it was the X belt, why that was kind of wearing down. It was in some position it was thinner than in the rest, and then we started disassembling the whole printer during the stream. So kind of turned into a disassembly stream and not a maintenance stream. And turned out that after I had a couple of issues disassembling the panels from this printer, which is painful, honestly, it's super painful. Getting all of the parts, like you literally have to disassemble the whole thing. Like the door, the side panels, the back panel, and a couple more things inside. You have to tear it apart, literally. It looks like that afterwards. Like really, it looks almost like the P1P if you're done. Because all of that stuff is gone. And that took us a couple of hours. Then the belt replacement was super painful because taking the belt out, like the belt tensioners at the tool head of this printer, there's a specific way how they are mounted and inserted and fixed. And that fixation was simply not coming out. Right? There's a little, they have a clever idea how to fix the belt in position. But that idea was obviously a little bit too clever. And that means it was so difficult to get the belt out, or both belts out of the tool head's little holding slot, that alone took me 2 hours to figure out how to do it without breaking the printer, right? It was really that complicated. So I was super careful because I didn't want to break the tool head and anything, and the sort of plastic. I didn't want to break that. And so it took me a couple of hours to figure that out, get it replaced, get the new belts back in place, and then assembling the printer was another evening. So getting this back into this shape with all of the panels and everything back took me another couple of hours. It was a nightmare. So the reason, by the way, for the belt wearing down was that one of the motor's pulleys was just slightly off, misaligned. It was probably over time, it was moving on the shaft a few millimeters, I think in like one direction. It was moving, I think it was moving out, basically, away from the motor. And that caused the belt to misalign slightly, scratch on some parts, and started like basically scratching off the belt on the side. And I fixed that, and now it's fine. I think the newer versions of have a longer pulley, which is much higher, so the belt can like basically slide up and down. And the original version on this printer, this has the much higher pieces. This one has the small ones, basically identical to these, where the pulley section where the belt runs is just a little bit higher than the belt itself. And the P1P has basically pulleys that are twice where the geared section is basically double the size, so it's can still move up and down a bit. Probably realized that this is a problem long term and then fixed it in the later version. So we have the belts cut in 2 belts in the perfect length. We can insert them. The motors are hopefully, like, we can still fix the position of the motor pulleys if something is slightly misaligned. And final thing to do, as Blind suggested, I'm going to move the bearings a little bit further so we have them flush. And fixing the motors is something that I have to do, but can't do it without, at least partially. I think we cannot reach the motor screws from the bottom. We can probably do just 2 motor fixation screws. The other 2 are, there's a hidden shaft here, a hidden hole, a tunnel which cannot be reached without taking the top part off. I'm doing this offline. Next week we're gonna have it fixed. It's gonna be finished. It's gonna be finished. My friends, time for the giveaway. Great. Tool for aligning the great. I think that's I'm gonna look at it. Looking at the channel. By the way, we can look at the Discord server. We have oh my names, almost so many Discord servers. It's also kind of the new open tabs. Open Discord servers is equal to open tabs. The D100 channel, and Spline is posting a lot of pictures. I see. This will help align your AB pulleys. This is probably some project file that I have to check. How does it look like? Let's see. Yeah, loading geometry data only. I see. Is this the... Ah, nice. I see. This is great. This is great. So you can print that. By the way, I'm switching a lot of my printers to Orca Slicer, especially Creality K1 because it's supported, and the K1C is supported by the Orca Slicer, and I also created my custom profiles here for different filament. Let's go and do the giveaway. How do you enter the giveaway? First of all, we should open the giveaway page. Where is it? Come on, giveaway. So we should have the giveaway page open now. We have 8 people who entered the giveaway. How to enter the giveaway? You have to go to Twitch, hit Ticket Max. So ! Ticket Max. You see this here? Thank you, Mr. Ashura, for following on Twitch. So you can enter Ticket Max, so ! Ticket Max to put all of your nozzles into the pot. No, ticket underscore, ticket space max, okay? There's a space between ticket and max. Ticket space max. You see? So I'm gonna give everyone a couple of more, like 3 more minutes to to enter this command. Thanks Griffgear 3D for following on Twitch. Thank you a lot. Everyone's getting their tickets ready. 12 entrants. Great. If you're just coming over, you didn't watch any of the previous streams yet, you don't have any tickets yet, you don't have any nozzles, basically, you can check how many nozzles you have with ! Nozzles, because I'm gonna show it to you. So nozzles will show you how many you have, and then you can spend them on the giveaway pot. Nozzles. So, system gonna give you 5 nozzles every 10 minutes. And if you have entered the giveaway successfully, I'm gonna switch over to the giveaway page now. And we have these people here. Unfortunately, I have myself in this giveaway. I have no idea how to remove myself, honestly, but I'm probably not gonna win. And if yes, we're gonna repeat it. So I am going to close the giveaway in 1 minute. So you still have 1 minute. If you still haven't done Ticket Max, I think we have currently 16 people on Twitch watching. Spline, you're quite late. Okay. Alexander, what about you? Are you coming? Got there in the end, nozzles. Yeah, so nozzles are only rewarded for watching the stream live on Twitch. As it says on the description page, you can earn 5 nozzles every 10 minutes just for watching the stream. Don't have to do anything else. And then you can spend them if you want. If you want, you can spend them on this specific giveaway. If you don't want, say, this is not for me, I want to wait for the next giveaway. You just keep your nozzles and you can enter them in the next giveaway. But you can also just watch the next couple of streams, and then you can collect new nozzles, and then you have at some point you will have more nozzles for the next giveaway. So depends what you want. All in. Okay, are we ready? Tutankhamun, that's a good question. Did you get tickets? We can check it. Hopefully we can check it. Yes, you have 20. Recent entries. That's not everyone is gonna be listed here. Obviously, it's just the most recent entries here. We are going to close now, my friends. We're gonna close now. Closing the giveaway. In 10 seconds. 9. At 30. And hitting the button right now. Okay. So we can now draw and G-forces. How did you not get into the giveaway? Anyways, don't be sad. You're gonna keep your nozzle for the next one. We're gonna have exciting new printers coming for a couple of other giveaways in the future. So we're gonna draw a winner. Are you excited? Let's do it. Let's do it. Draw a winner. And the winner is Alexander. Congratulations. 20% chance. You had the most nozzles. You were watching probably the most. That's it. And next time we're gonna have a new giveaway, new printer. So every single month we're gonna give away great stuff, and probably in the next stream we're gonna give us small stuff. So I'm thinking about next time I'm gonna give away a little bit small stuff. I'm gonna give a little bit of a surprise package next week, which is not a 3D printer, but we're gonna give a little bit of a surprise package with a couple of small things. Gonna show it to you. So exciting times ahead, my friends. Alexander, what I need you to do now, I need you to we need to get your stuff over to you. Alexander E3D. Awesome. I'm happy for you. So the V100, yeah. The thing is, I was asking on YouTube. I did the poll that what would you prefer, right? What would you prefer me to do? Would you prefer me to give away the V100 once it's done, or would you prefer me to disassemble the whole thing once it's done and build the bigger one, the new one, the version 2, and then give it away. You are actually 66% said keep it and build the bigger one. Yeah, that's that. So I think I'm gonna keep it and build the bigger one, and then we're gonna give away the bigger one. I think personally, I also would say the bigger printer is probably the better one, the more usable in a way. It's not a bad thing here. I mean, the print bed is just very, very small. I was like realizing that how small it is actually very small. 180-ish millimeters. So it's super, super small, and it's probably just fun to use, but it's not very much usable for daily usage. I would say it's not that thing. It's not for so many things. Most things are meant to be printed on 220 by 220. That's just how it is. It's just these 4 centimeters or 6 centimeters something that I'm missing, and it's just keeping you from printing so many things. Okay, Alexander, let me try one thing, because I want to make sure that we have your contact information, that we can exchange stuff. Alex, I think I should. Yeah, got it. What's your... I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna send you a private message on Twitch, Alexander. Okay? I'll send you a private message on Twitch. You should have seen it. You can click on it and answer me and send me your info there. So we're 100% sure that we're having the right contact information. Right? Okay? Great. What's up next? Next week, we're gonna finish the build. I have to disassemble a couple of things. As you realized, I have to finish the motor mounts, fix them in place. I'm gonna insert the belts, fix them in place, and then also prepare the electronics, so we don't have to do so many things with the electronics anymore. So we can basically just have the software already pre-installed, have the cables ready, hopefully the bottom cover ready, so I can just assemble everything. And so we can make some good progress. I'm going to post my progress again on Instagram as usual. I'm gonna post some pictures once I make the next step, so you can see what's going on. And then we're gonna hopefully get this printer. I'm looking forward, like my goal is get this printer running next week. Ideally, we have the motion system running next week, so we can test out movement, clipper scripts, the heaters, like basically just do the basic testing and maybe extrude some filament. I don't know if we get printing next week, but we should be at least hopefully getting the motion system working. And so we are ready to do the first test prints. Let's see how far we can come. This was so far a pretty exciting journey for me, because this is actually one of the rare occasions where I'm printing a printer and building a printer from scratch. My friends. I totally agree, Stubbs. The build instructions, honestly, the build instructions is... Are you talking about the Warren? Or are you talking about the V100? The V100, okay. I agree, the videos from Matt the Printing Nerd are kind of incomplete. I watch them. They're kind of helpful, honestly. Don't get me wrong, the videos are good, but he's skipping over a few things. Then there was a guy that is had written some additional instructions. If you want to check it out, this is the Forgetful Dev. He did kind of an additional manual that fills the gaps for the things that Matt missed to explain. But that is also not, I would see this is not perfect because it's also, you have to put these things together, right? So you have the videos, you have this manual, which is not covering the things so much that are in the video. So you have to watch the videos, then you read this manual, then you probably have to go to the Discord server of the V100 project, maybe talk to some people there, figure out what are the best modification parts that you want to use. You can also come to our Discord server and chat about that. We have a couple more people who are aware of what are the good modifications. And so this is like, the information is not in one place, right? And so then this is the hard part about the Sprinter. Voron is probably, I mean, honestly, Voron is, if you build the default with the default parts, it should be fine. But we built a Voron, everyone's Voron printer is going to be different in the end. Everyone will do some modifications, some other custom parts, another tool head, another hot end, another extruder, another mainboard. So it's like, even though with the Voron, even though it's probably better, the basic Voron is very much documented, but then as soon as you start modifying, or you don't get the LDO, you're getting in a Feist tag, or you're getting, I don't know what's, there's so many brands now putting out these kits. They have slightly modifications there, here and there, and you have to follow multiple guides as well. You have to follow the Feist tag guide, but you also probably want to refer back to the Voron guide, or maybe the old LDO guide for some custom stuff, and so it gets complicated also, right? It's not that it's super easy. Yeah, each printer costs twice as much as in the end. And you never do stock, right? Yes. Guys, what do you think about this printer? I'm just gonna ask you. I have two printers actually. Two printers that I'm looking at. Two printers. Switching to English. Let's switch to English. My favorite shop, by the way, and I'm not affiliated with this shop. I mean, I have some affiliate links in some of my videos, but I'm not closely affiliated with the shop. My favorite shop, honestly, my favorite online shop for stuff, for 3D print stuff. So, what do you think about this new, where is it? Is it not here? Voron, not Voron Trident, Voron. The new switch wire. I mean, it's expensive, right? This is the expensive kit from LDO. There's cheaper ones. What do you think about this switch wire? I'm just getting your honest opinions. Because it's now, it's a little bit, it's very similar to the Ender 3 V3, the new, which is Core XZ, which is essentially a Voron switch wire, right? Or, I mean, the Voron switch wire was first, and then Creality basically copied the structure of this printer in a way that now they have a Core XZ printer, which has, if you don't know what that is, probably investigate a little bit. The printhead is driven with two belts, or the Z-axis is moving with belts instead of lead screws. Interesting. A Chiron wire. Most frustrating thing I ever built was the switch wire. Okay, why was it so frustrating? What was the issue? Would you... So you don't recommend it, obviously. It updated in the middle of it. Had to reprint everything. Oh my goodness. Sounds terrible. Sounds terrible. But in the end, Have you been successful building the printer? Oh my goodness, this seems to be a nightmare for you. It's insane, okay. It's a huge bed slinger, the gyron is 404 low, but of course I'm doing the 100. Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you my second question, which is, I think I have to look it up where it is. Core XY, what was it? It wasn't the LDO kit. It was, oh man, I forgot about it. How did I forget about it? It was another kit that was similar construction. It was cheaper. It was also Core XY custom printer. But it's not the Voron version. It's also Core XY kit. You can customize it like crazy. You can like basically define everything in the online shop. Say I wanted this size, I want this print head, I want this power supply, I want this switch, blah 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 blah. So you customize everything together, and then in the end, I don't remember. Maybe someone in the chat remembers what the company was that offers these other Core XY customizable printers, DIY. How is it called? Let's search for it. Voron alternative. Rhetoric, maybe? Yeah, I think it was the Rhetoric. I think the Rhetoric kit was with a V-Core configurable kit. I was interested in this. Yeah, I remember this was the one. I was interested in this because it seems similar to his Voron Trident. I think it's moving the print bed up and down. And what I like about it is that it offers different print. I mean, you could theoretically create any kind of size for the Voron, right? But you would have to build your own kit. Basically, you would have to source your own parts. There is a few standard sizes, 250, 300, 350 for the Voron, where you can basically get it everywhere. But as soon as you say, but I want a 400 millimeter or a 450 or 500, so if you want to get bigger and say, I want to have a really huge kit, where is the configurator? Yeah, got it. Let's see, where's the configurator for this? Not sure. Can I configure it somewhere? Learn everything. Continue shopping. Out of stock, okay. Well, recently it was still available. Why is it out of stock? I think I was looking yesterday or last week. I don't know, remember. I think it was yesterday. I was checking. It was still like it currently maybe not available. But the thing is, overall, I have so many parts here that I could reuse, and I was configuring a 500 size printer with the Rhetoric frame, and it came out at 1,000 euros for the frame with the motion system parts. The tool head I was like kind of excluding and say exclude the hot end because I have that. I excluded the extruder, which I have. I basically excluded all the electronics, so just the solid state relay and the power supply was included. So basically also the main board was excluded. Overall, it's probably as expensive as a Voron, but it was 500 by 500. So we're thinking, yeah, that could be an interesting printer because like it's a huge Core XY printer printing huge things for overall probably 1500. But yeah, and it's currently not available. Let's see. Maybe in the future. Okay. We got the giveaway done. I'm gonna say, how late is it? It's almost, yes, just after 11 in Germany. London is not for everyone. We're talking about moving to London. I was visiting London a couple of times. I think it's an awesome city. Honestly, I like London a lot. Actually, I was working in this egg-shaped building. You know, I don't know the name of the building honestly, but I was working there at UniCredit. Oh my goodness, this was 2008. 2009 maybe? I don't know. Somewhere around, I think it was 2008-ish, somewhere around that. And this egg-shaped building, and we had I think they still have an office there. It was kind of funny to go there every single day, like that you look at the skyline, you look at the building and you can immediately recognize the building from any direction. That was funny. The Gherkin, yeah, exactly, yeah. But UniCredit in Munich is also, they have a very unique building, so you know the building from like you can see it from a lot of places. It's also, it's quite old, but it's still very recognizable. It's a huge building, one of the biggest ones in Munich. Yeah, that's basically it for tonight, guys. Alexander, double, triple checking. I got your message. And I'm gonna respond right now. Forgot about that, sorry. And we'll stay in contact. We'll exchange the address and yeah, and I'm gonna send out the printer as soon as possible. And next week we're back with another stream, and we're gonna have fun building stuff here. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope to see you back, because there's gonna be more stuff that I'm giving away. Honestly, I have a lot of spare parts. That's why I said last time we were talking about a kind of a surprise box, where I'm just gonna go through the studio, collect a couple of things that I'm not using anymore, which are still totally fine. Like some of them are unused even. That's how it goes if you have 6 years of building 3D printers and you buy all kinds of stuff, and then you have lots of stuff that you don't need. So we're gonna build a little bit of a surprise package for next week. Okay. See you next week. And we're gonna have more people on the stream, hopefully, because next week everyone's playing field, right? Everyone has kind of the same starting situation with the nozzles and stuff, because everyone spent the stuff now. That's what you can look for a rat trick. Now, thanks for the stream, yeah. I see. So, good time. Have a nice week. Have a nice weekend. I'm gonna post updates on my build here on Instagram. We're gonna talk next week. Yeah, I've got the hammer always. I used that hammer yesterday morning, actually. If you watch the stream, I was missing you actually. I was using the hammer, literally using the hammer yesterday. I hammered out the linear bearings with the new bearings. I hammered in the new bearings and hammering out the old bearings. Okay, guys.